good morning here at Weird Reality, and it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, LaJuné McMillian. I was trying to get a clarification from her as to what degree she just completed, and I thought she had completed a BFA, but actually she tells me she's just 2 classes shy of finishing her BS. She's a new media artist and creative technologist living in New York City, a recent graduate shy of 2 classes from the Integrated Digital Media program at NYU Tandon School of Engineering. Her work is centered around interconnection, the nature of communication, and the experience of life beyond the material world. She expresses this using virtual reality performances, installations, and physical computing. Please welcome LaJuné McMillian.
Hi everyone, I'm LaJuné, and I'm an artist from the Integrated Digital Media program at NYU Tandon School of Engineering, and I'm really passionate about communication and how we interact with one another. So this past year I took 3 of the most important classes of my academic career, and 2 of those classes were my Gender and Communications course and my Environmentalism course. And basically, I took away some very valuable lessons from taking those courses. And the first thing that I took away was the disconnect between social movements. So in my Gender and Communications course, we didn't really talk about environmentalism and vice versa. And the second thing that I took away was the lack of inclusion while talking about these topics in the classroom, and the lack of voices being able to share their stories in the limited perspective of the class as a whole. And then another thing that I took away was the fact that most students in my class didn't see that technology was a part of nature, or that even humans were a part of nature. And I was wondering whether that disconnect could be harmful to our existence. And the last thing that I took away was the gendering of nature and technology, and kind of just the ways that we think about nature and technology and how we relate to them. So kind of just thinking about the terms like using man-made for the ways that we kind of consider technology, while we consider nature as like Mother Nature, as this feminine being. And this led me to ask whether our gendering was contributing to this disconnection. And what does it mean to say that the technology we use today is kind of this masculine thing, or whether the nature that we kind of surround ourselves in is kind of this feminine thing. And does that speak to the inclusivity and the accessibility problem that we see in the world today? And the third class that I took was a print typography course, where I learned about basically the history of print and typography. And there I was introduced to Marshall McLuhan. Basically what he said was the medium was the message, and that really stuck with me. And I felt like I kind of connected the dots, where I realized that all of these major social changes that we had in the world were connected to a change in the technologies that we were using. And I kind of found that there was this correlation between the people who were creating these mediums, what they looked like, who they were, and their backgrounds. And so I guess I'm kind of just going to go through like this timeline of people who have created mediums that we use as a standard of communicating with one another. So here's the printing press, photography, telephone, radio, television, internet, virtual reality, and augmented reality. And if you look at all of these spaces, while I don't actually know them, so I can't really say like, this person's like this or that person's like that, they all are like men, and I kind of feel like if we're going to be using these mediums, we kind of have to take that into consideration while we're using them. And I really believe that we need to create new mediums made by a diverse group of people. And basically my work is about figuring out what those mediums look like. And so the question that I always get is, what do they look like? And my answer for now is I don't know. But I do that if we confront the mediums that we're using now, like the newer mediums and the old mediums, and how we relate to them as a whole, then we can try to find a way to create newer mediums. So I want to talk about 3 projects that I've been working on, and basically while they're all connected in their kind of ethereal and meditative nature, they're all really projects about communication and how we interact with one another. And the first project that I want to talk about is Ether, and basically this project is a project that I created with students from the ITP program at Tisch, and basically it was about integrating sacred geometry into new mediums like using motion capture, and just to kind of say exactly, well, not exactly what sacred geometry is, because you can like learn that and just forever keep learning that, but it's kind of like this hidden architecture of creation, just for like a small description. And so I kind of want to show a video. So yeah, we were really interested in communication for this one, and how the audience can communicate with the dancer in real time. So we decided to laser cut all of the elements as the platonic side. So fire would be the touch of the wind, water would be the rhythm of the tube of people. And we did all of this in real time with the dancer, and we allowed the audience to use this component to send the element information to the dancer being able to see these controllers and feel them in the physical space, but then also being able to see them in the virtual space, and how would that be, how would that feel, and how can people relate what they're feeling to what they're seeing in a digital space. So the next project that I want to talk about is 528, which is my senior project, and it's based on visceral communication and communicating through being. And basically, I wanted to create a performance and installation piece where I could kind of communicate through just being in a space and not having to like have any planned gestures or use words to make that sort of connection with the audience. And basically, the number 528, the reason why I named it 528 is because in some, I guess, spiritual communities, it represents the frequency of love. And while I guess it may not actually be the frequency of love, I was really inspired by the idea that love could exist in sound or exist in a space, and that people can walk into a space that's embodied by that. For this project, I kind of did a bunch of things. I made dress, and I did like projection mapping of those videos on that dress, and here's just like a short video of like the projections on the dress, different ways. But yeah, that's the dress that I made. And this is like the final presentation. I kind of took a room in my school and I kind of just like changed it into this whole different space. I got branches from the park and I spray painted them gold and hung them from the ceilings, and I hung fabric everywhere. And I sat and walked around in the middle of the space, dividing the audience from me. And through that experience, I kind of realized that I wasn't ready mentally and emotionally to like do a performance like that. So it kind of leads me to my last project that I want to talk about, which is Clarity, which is a project about healing, and it's all in VR. So I'm using the Unreal and the HTC Vive. And what I want to do for this project is kind of take people on that process of healing with me, and I want to do motion capture, and I see an motion capture scene. So I want to mocap my body doing all these things and kind of translate all of that data to a 3D body, which in the future I would want to use like body scans of myself, but right now I just haven't gone around to do that. And I want people to kind of interact with me in a digital space, but it would be a past version of me, because I actually would not be performing in that space. It would kind of be like this past performance. So I want to explore character AI and physics-based. Well, right now I've been working a lot with like physics-based animations, and basically for the environments, I kind of wanted to go through all of these places that I thought were the most beautiful places in the world, to kind of base those environments off of that, to try to show all of the beauty and all of the stages of healing. And then like that's kind of like the last world that I want, which kind of ties into my senior project. I'm going to show a video of what I have right now. Like this is the first scene and the crystals themselves actually, they kind of, like when you touch them, they activate and they make sounds, and they also activate animations too. So here's a video of that. And this is just a demo. Yeah, and this was all created actually just using physics-based animations. Like when I was applying physics, I think that's such a huge problem for gravity, and it's like super kind of floaty type animations that way. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and I kind of just wanted to leave with this. So with these projects, I am guiding people through my own personal process of confronting my own biases about nature and technology, and working through my own personal deconstructing of my conditioning. And in doing so, I am also encouraging the audience to start their own journey and do the same. Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much.